Good morning. My name is Rick White from 180 Biz, and this is my Just One Thing. So, I've been talking about focus. I hear shop owners all the time, clients, non clients alike, coming to me and telling me, Rick, I've got a problem with focus. Man, I just can't do it. You're blaming yourself for your focus deficit. It's not your fault. I don't want you to blame yourself for this anymore. What's happening is it's being stolen. That's right. Your focus is being stolen. Let me explain how. There was a psychologist, B.F. Skinner, that came up with a concept called behaviorism. Now, some of you may have heard of this before. There was a scientist in Russia, I believe it was, Pavlov, who had dogs. And what he did was every time he fed them, he rang a bell. 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 And then one day he didn't feed them, he just rang the bell. And the bell itself caused his dogs to salivate. In other words, the bell they had, right? What they did was they associated that bell with food. So they automatically just started salivating. Well, what's happening to us is it's kind of the same thing. What social media is doing to you is it's basically teaching us to associate a reward with an action. That's what behaviorism is all about, is associating a reward with an action. So what's the reward? Well, if you think about it, how many of you, come on, be honest, have put a post out there or a video and you're looking to see how many likes it got, how many hearts it got, how many times has it been viewed, how many shares does it have? I think that's super, super important to understand because if you're like like most normal people, and let's be honest, right? I'm the same way. I put a video out there and I want to see how many views it has. I want to see what kind of impact I've had. And what happens is I see that number and it feels good or feels bad and either makes me want to do more, etc., do it different to get people's attention. I want to be accepted. I know you guys, you're putting stuff out there for yourselves, your shops, and you want it to get some traction. And what happens is when you see those likes, those hearts, those shares, that's the trigger. And what the reward is dopamine. Dopamine is a chemical in your brain that is released when it does something, right, that makes them feel good. So let me give you an example of a dopamine shot. How many of you have ever had a checklist of things to do, did something that wasn't on the checklist, and then wrote it in on the checklist and checked it off? Come on, be honest. I've done it. I've done it. I do it all the time, right? I want that recognition. I want to recognize it myself. And it's the same, right? So why we do that is because we get a shot of dopamine. We don't even realize it. But it's that brain crack that makes all the difference in the world, okay? So let me ask you a question. Why do you think social media is doing this to us? Why do you think they're doing that? They're doing it because they make money off of you. Please understand that. How are they making money? Well, number one, with ads. Yes. I mean, we spend money on ads. It's one of the ways we attract people to the 180 biz methodology and thought process. And that's awesome. So that's one way that social media makes money. But the second way they make money is psychographics. What does that mean? They learn, right? They learn about you and your likes and what you want. And I'm going to tell you something. They know so much about you, like so much it would scare you. They know what you like. They know when you consume content. They know what kind of content you consume. They know how long you're on there. And they start to pull together some pretty disturbing information about you. And what they do is they sell that information. Because if you think about it, let's say a business out there has determined that their ideal client is somebody that likes Donald Trump. You watch a lot of stuff about rifles and firearm handguns, and then you also watch a lot of clay shooting or something like that. So what it will do is there'll be a company out there that all of a sudden says, my ideal client likes this, this, and this. And what they do is they say, okay, here you go. And we're not talking about people like me, where we're going in and selling to you, although that is part of it. But they're selling this information and getting a lot of money from it to some very, very big corporations. Think this through real careful. I want you to hear this. You're not a customer or the customer of social media. You are not Facebook's customer. You are not Instagram's customer. You're not LinkedIn's customer or any of the other platforms. You're their product. They're selling you, and they're going to do whatever they can to keep you scrolling. You're looking at some stuff where people are shooting, and then all of a sudden you're getting all these biometric the handgun safes. They're selling this stuff all the time. If you want to watch a really good documentary on this, watch The Social Dilemma. Okay? Watch The Social Dilemma on Netflix. My name is Rick White from 180 Biz, and this is my Just One Thing. Thank you very much. God bless. Stay safe and go make some money. We'll see you next week.